Hi everybody, I wanted to make a little video about our class this summer so that you can use it more effectively and not waste a lot of time trying to find what I'm wanting you to be directed towards. First of all, welcome, and I hope that you will find this an enjoyable experience. This is what the Canvas course page will look like as soon as I have published it for you, and I'm in a fake student view, so it should look like it will look to you. First of all, please note that I've put the syllabus up here with a lot of really important information, especially the things in bold are designed to be very helpful to you, and I've put it as the course homepage so that you will hopefully be directed here a lot. You can see the summary down here of all the things that you should have due and on what days. I'm not really sure why this agree to course terms is showing up twice here, but you should only have to complete that once. So the first thing you should look at is this menu over here. Home takes you back to the syllabus, or the syllabus takes you back to the syllabus. You also have chat, grades, discussions, and modules. The place that you should go for most of the stuff that you're working on will be the modules. And I've tried to organize it so that it kind of forces you through the material in a logical way that will help you make the best choices. The first thing you're going to need to do is go in here and agree to these course terms. And I want you to read it carefully. It's just as a Canvas quiz. It's saying that you understand that you are responsible for any proctoring fees for the final exam, and that you're going to take a picture of yourself with the proctor and submit that electronically to me, and I'll put a place on the Canvas site for you to do that. So you'll need to agree to these terms before you can continue. And then submit your quiz. Now you should either be able to go to next down here, which would take you to the next thing that I have posted, proctoring arrangements. Maybe you haven't worked on that yet. You should, because that's something that it might take you a little while to arrange. And if you haven't arranged for this and submitted this by June 5th, you can get a 0 on the final exam. So please, please, please just get that done at the beginning so that you're not in that position. All right, so let's go back to the modules. And now that we've completed this agree to course terms, some important course files that you probably won't need till a little later are right here, and those have come unlocked. And then you can see the only thing that isn't grayed out is in chapter 1, and that is you're supposed to read this chapter in the book. And then everything else down here, I can't do chapter 2 until I do chapter 1, and so on and so forth. So here we have the annotated book. You would need to go through and, look at these things, read all these things, etc., etc. Once you're done reading, you should be ready to go on to the next part and take your definitions quiz, which I would recommend taking while you're looking at the book. It's intended to help you read well. All right, so as you complete these things, some of them you have to submit before you go on to the next thing. So you have to submit, see how it says submit here, before you can go on and watch the further videos that will accompany the book. So I'd really like you guys to try reading the book first before you do this definitions quiz and then go through and look at the videos. I've also posted homeworks for you with due dates, and there are, for every single type of computational or calculation question where you actually have to do some real math, I have recorded myself, let's see if where's the first one? Here, for example, 2.2 conditional probability in tables. I've recorded a voice recording of myself along with a PDF that you can follow that would be exactly how I would explain these types of problems, the most important types, in the classroom. So those should be really helpful. The other way you can view what's due in a class, and this should be helpful for you no matter which Canvas class you're in, is over here on the left at the calendar. And if you click on your calendar, you can see classes that you can hide and show. So if I click this, I no longer see my calendar for this statistics class. If I re-click it, then I see, hey, look, here's all my stuff that's due. So I would encourage you to go ahead and look through all of the due dates up through June 21st. I've tried to spread them out. I would recommend, working ahead if you can. There's nothing preventing you from starting stuff early, but after the due date, you can no longer receive points for anything that you turn in late. So make sure that you turn stuff in before the due date, or you get a 0. You'll still have to finish it in order to go through the items in the order that Canvas is forcing you to go through, but you won't get any points. Okay, so let's go back to the course. A couple of other things. If you would like to look at your grades, you can do so. It tells you the weight of the types of assignments right here, just like it says in the syllabus. You can calculate what I call your current grade, and that's based only on assignments that have been graded so far, the agree to course terms, and one other thing, something about whatever I called it to set up the arrangements for proctoring for the final. They say they're worth a point, but that's just to let you know you finished it. It's not actually, the testing arrangements don't actually count towards your final grade. And if I uncheck this, it's going to say, what would my grade be if I did nothing else for the rest of the class? I'm not really sure why it's giving a 0.31%. I think that's some kind of rounding error in the machine's memory, but truly these course term things will not count towards anything, and I'll make sure by exporting all the grades and making sure that everything is calculated correctly in a spreadsheet at the end of the class. The last thing I'd like to tell you is, please, before you email me, I would like for this to feel as much like a classroom as possible. And so I've put places here for us to have a discussion about each chapter. Let me tell you that if you have a question about that chapter, there are many other people who have that same question about that chapter. And so for us to have a productive discussion, I would like for you to first post your questions. Any question you have, you need to post it here in the discussion, and sometimes hopefully your peers will answer them, and I will be monitoring the discussion boards and making sure that everything gets sorted out properly. And if you can't end up getting your question answered well through the discussion board, which again I will be participating in, then later you and I can have an individual email exchange about your particular question. But this is where you should go first, and you can reply by posting. So here you could take a picture and upload a picture if you had written something on paper that you would like to write. If you need math symbols, you can click on Insert Math Equation, and any of the little symbols that you might need here, Greek letters and things like that, will show up so that you can just type them in really quickly if you need a symbol. There aren't that many that you will need for this class. So hopefully that will be pretty helpful. And then you would just post your reply there and other people will talk with you. If you want to have a live discussion that's not recorded, there is this chat that's, I think, kind of like text messaging, but I think everybody in the class will get those. I'm not sure I've had students use those, but if you'd like to try it, that would be pretty cool, and we could see how that goes as well. If you have any questions about how this course site is set up other than that, please let me know, but let me know through these general course questions right here. And if you're having any trouble with the site itself and I'm not available, you can click on this help menu, and we have paid for Canvas support. That's a hotline that's 24/7 for you, or chat that's 24/7 help for you. They can't necessarily, they're not necessarily allowed to do every type of thing to help you, but for the most part, they should be able to point you in the right direction. Otherwise, if they can't, then you should email me about those questions. All right, I'm about to make the class go live, so by the time you get this email, you should be good to go, and make sure you get started on everything and don't save it till the last minute. Bye-bye.